So, Trailer 2 wasn't the only bomb Rockstar dropped. The GTA 6 site quietly exploded with content. 9 character bios, info hubs for 6 hotspots, 10 short clips, and around 70 stills. It's a lot. The cleanest way to make sense of it is to start with the people, build out what the bios imply, and then comb through the screenshots for the juicy details the trailers don't spell out. The page opens with a short setup. Vice City, USA. Jason and Lucia know the game is rigged, and suddenly they're stuck on the darkest side of the Sunshine State, wrapped up in a conspiracy that sprawls across Leonida, forced to lean on each other if they want to make it out. That tells us a lot. The only heist we've seen is the bank hit in Trailer 2, which doesn't exactly scream easy. So my bet? The job that goes sideways is smaller scale. Think a quick grab robbery at a gas station or corner store that escalates because something goes wrong. A panicky clerk, a bystander, maybe a body. That kind of incident feels like a catalyst you'd hit early, probably while we're still down in the Keys, and it gives Rockstar a clean reason to push us north. It also hammers the recurring theme: trust. As the world closes in, Jason and Lucia become each other's last safe bet. First bio. Jason Duval. His page says he wants the easy life, but it keeps slipping away. Raised around hustlers, tried the army to shake his messier years, wound up in the Keys running packages for local movers. It might be time for something new. My read: Jason starts the game functional. Not thrilled he's making cash through the trade, but he's competent at it, so he keeps going. He feels like the kind of guy who half hopes for an exit, and Lucia is the spark that drags him into something bigger. She spots the one simple score, convinces him, and that's the domino that tips. Of the two embracing on Ocean Drive after dark, the scene breathes, soft street glow, palm fronds moving, flags rippling, hotel tree lights flicking on and off. The way the bins, railings, and signage catch the light sells the humidity of the night. Background NPC clusters chat outside the hotel, small behaviors that make the strip feel alive. On a Principe Alvino V1, a new model for Principe, the brand we know from V. The tank graphic is scuffed, the rear tire looks worn, and Jason's trigger discipline, finger indexed, nods to his service. He swaps T's, Vice City here, Leonida earlier, repping where he's from. Sunglasses hanging off the collar reflect a lamppost and what looks like packed dirt or a sun-baked access road. The sun rakes across half his face while the palm behind him glows at the edge. Cinematic hero framing. Cal at a bar. Cal's arm half across Jason's chest. Two guys squared up behind them. Jason's beard looks a touch thicker than in earlier shots, which basically confirms dynamic hair growth returning from RTR2. On the counter, a fresh stubbed cigarette with smoke still lifting, a money clip nearby like a deal's in motion, and ring marks that match the ashtray more than a bottle. Jason's watch shows 24-hour time, another quiet army callback. His cap reads, Brian's Marina. Same hat as earlier, worn forward this time. The two dudes in back? Tool on one belt, paint on the other's shorts. Construction guys or DIY heroes blowing off steam. Cal's posture says de-escalate. Mouth open, likely mid-appeal. Jukebox, back left. Maybe we can actually pick tracks in bars. Here. Jason robbing a convenience store in a V-Rock tee. Logo updated. There's a faint reflection in his shades, but nothing legible. Quote, "If anything happens, I'm right behind you." Fits the Jason to Lucia dynamic we've been seeing. The adjoining text doubles down on their partnership. When everything else fractures, that bond holds. Another blurb frames Jason as a guy for whom meeting Lucia could be the best or worst turn of his life. And right now, it's impossible to tell. My takeaway? Jason's a quiet romantic who imagines a normal life with her. Lucia's ambition keeps dragging the dream into the mud. By a palm on Ocean Drive, phone in hand. It's an iFruit/IUET style parody, but the hardware's funky. Single, tiny rear camera and an old-school top port. The palm bark is deeply sculpted. Seams, stitching, and a rip in his pants sell fabric physics. Inside the restaurant window, seated NPCs, a server mid-order, TV flicker in the back. Up on the roof, more NPCs lounging, stacked vertical life. On a boat, Jason holding a rod, Cal scanning with binoculars. The rod blank has that matte to gloss texture shift you see on real carbon. This basically confirms fishing returns, likely evolved from RDR2 system. Sunglass reflections again show scene context. You can spot global illumination bouncing ocean light up into the cabin. Ceilings pick up soft blue. Half-finished beer on the shelf. Architecture in the distance screams Leonida Keys. Lucia Caminos mirrors Jason's beach night embrace, but from a different angle. The purple neon skimming Jason's back and the top of Lucia's head pops more here. She's palming a pistol behind his back. Car headlights rake the street, and the ambient glow feels sticky in that Miami way. Taught her to fight basically as soon as she could stand. Life's been throwing hooks ever since. Defending family landed her in Leonida Penitentiary. Luck got her out. Now it's smart moves only. That's a heavy thumbnail. It implies she's been orbiting crime for years, probably rationalized as providing for family. Early release means the conviction wasn't irredeemable. Serious, but not a monster rap sheet. The taught to fight line reads literal, given what follows. Being off on a heavy bag. Between this and Jason's beach lift, I'm confident physique training is back. Maybe more robust than San Andreas and RDR2 stamina systems. The gym behind her is fully kitted. Close up. Vein pop along the left forearm, face tightened mid-strike, sheen of sweat, and tiny sweat droplets bursting off the impact vector. Not a static texture, an effect. A loose hair strand flicks out of the bun. She's wearing iFruit-style earbuds, so personal audio might be a thing while roaming. At a pool, Jason blurred and back. Earbuds again, which hints at listening on the move. Or it's a staged cutscene moment. The sunglasses reflection shows the deck boards, concrete lip, and railing geometry. Skin has that just broke the surface wetness. Nails are manicured, which almost certainly means nail salon interactions. On her left, something like a strawberry daiquiri. On the right, phone resting on a towel, screen on. Green icon likely contacts. A purple app we can't ID. Around the pool, sunbathers, one mid-selfie. Distant skyline says Vice City proper. Walking the block. Braids, noticeably longer hair than prior shots or trailer 2, which suggests timeline jumps or customizable styles. Through the glass, a gaunt inmate, another with facial scarring and a retro mullet. Guard on the left. I'd wager we get playable time here. Perfect tutorial staging. Her mom's dream of the good life dates back to their Liberty City days, and Lucia's done waiting for fantasies. That's a direct Liberty City nod and a clean motivation statement. Family first, do what it takes. It also tees up potential appearances by her parents. With how central they are to her, it'd be weird if they never show. Out the window, rolling down Ocean Drive. Hair physics in this specific shot are stiff, but the necklace motion is great, keeps swinging after the initial gust. Zoom in. The pendant is a boxing glove, Between that and the gym shot, boxing isn't just flavor. It's part of her identity, and likely her dad's influence. Also, the pedestrian density here is wild. Crowds layered deep. Even 2 NPCs perched on the wall like locals who live there. I'm definitely going to spend time just people-watching at launch. The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got. That's family and network as strategy. Power through proximity and resources. Jason could be her escape route. Fresh out, odds stacked, she's committed to her plan, whatever it costs. Translation: Jason isn't just a partner, he's a pillar of the plan. Lucia in the gold dress from Trailer 2, phone in hand matching Jason's model. Watch how the rotating club lights scatter across the fabric. It glitters without looking like a static texture. NPC hair variety is huge in this one frame, and the woman on the left sports 2 tattoos. Another hint, the crowd system is pushing more unique combos. She's on a bike outside a bar called Hoodwinks. The license plate reads Gloriana, not Leonida. There's been a lot of chatter that Gloriana is GTA's Georgia analog. A plate alone doesn't promise a fully explorable state, but it adds weight to the idea we'll at least touch a Gloriana region. The neighborhood looks grimy, could be outskirts anywhere, possibly that Gloriana slice. Brake lights look fantastic. The red scatter lights up the bike's back end and paints Lucia's jacket edge with a faint glow. Up on the roof, a huge rat. Little environmental stories like that are everywhere. And check her face. Hair casting micro shadows across her cheekbones, tiny but convincing. That, with Lucia showing the same trigger discipline we noticed on Jason earlier. Then a tagline. Only in Leonida, when the sun fades and the neon glows, everyone has something to gain and more to lose. Pure vibe copy, but it sets the dusk to neon tone the whole game swims in. Pivots into side characters. First up, Cal Hampton. With a line that basically asks, what if everything on the internet were true? As Jason's buddy and another fixture at Brian's. His happy place? At home, half buzzed, eavesdropping on Coast Guard chatter with research tabs open. Think Ron from GTA 5, but less frantic. Still paranoid, just more cozy about it. Expect him to be our go-to when things brush against the feds. He's tied to Jason and Brian's operation, so he's going to be around. A lot. Cal mugging at an alligator-themed mini golf course, tongue out like a class clown. Cue the thought bubble. Mini golf side activity. It's a perfect lighter alternative to full golf from 5, and a potential date night spot for Jason and Lucia. The props are ridiculously ornate. Fiberglass gaiters, neon paint, tiki clutter. Can't tell if this is a standalone tourist trap or tucked inside a bigger amusement complex, but the Florida kitsch dial is cranked. Cal stride away from Brian's marina, each lugging a duffel. Feels like hardware in those bags. There's a rumor guns live in your trunk this time, but a portable kit would explain how you stay stocked when you're far from the car. Also clicks into place that the marina from Trailer 2's opening? Yep, Brian's. On a skiff while a plane rips overhead and drops a parcel. The deck already has a few wrapped bundles. Looks like he's the receiver, not the courier, which flips the usual GTA loop on its head. Don't worry, deliveries will still be a thing, especially online. Zoom on the straps. Stitching, fray, compression marks, nuts-level detail. Cal's quote below. There are way too many birds flying around in perfect formation. Whew. Honestly? Vibes. Paranoia poetry. Jason and Cal at a pool table. Behind them, 2 locals chat. One with an iguana on her shoulder. crowned and dressed like it owns the place. That tracks with the iguana we saw roaming near Jason's place, shirted, unbelievably. Is it the same lizard? A neighborhood mascot? Her pet with free-range privileges? I salute the chaos. The guy talking to her might be a recurring face. I'm almost sure he shows up at the mini-golf scene, too. The room's a treasure hunt. A wall plaque half reads, Joe Schwartz Blas destroyed doing what he loved, fishing. Next to what looks like the ruined remains. A busted deck chair? Can't wait to read the whole story in-game. Inflatable pink flamingo with a beer. Bonus cans bobbing around, and a lone pina colada floating on its own tiny life ring. His shoulders and chest are sun-pinked, which ties into a pattern we've seen on multiple characters. I'm convinced there's a dynamic sunburn/sun exposure system. Maybe purely cosmetic, maybe with a minor stamina/health tick if you really crisp up. Sunscreen as a usable item would be hilarious. Also, the water sells itself. Subtle ripples, and you can actually see beer spilling into the pool. The psychopaths are in charge. Get used to it. Cal's content waiting at America's low tide. Casual paranoia finds buddies, but Jason wants more. That clashes with my earlier read that Jason might be content, unless Lucia hands him a shot too big to ignore. More likely, Jason starts complacent like Cal, Lucia dangles the opportunity, and Cal gets drafted into the scheme. Postcard clip. Vice Cities reveals a sprawling skyline, huge footprint. In the foreground, a couple of scrubby, empty islets begging for boat trips and secrets. In the far distance, a Ferris wheel on the left. Cranes on the right suggest active builds. Let the perpetually under construction jokes begin. Everything in excess. We're far from the 80s, but the city's still America's sun and fun capital. A single urban petri dish of glamour, hustle, and greed. Neighborhood notes. Pastel ocean beach hotels with sugar white sand. Bustling little Cuba with its outdoor markets. Tishawaka flea stalls hawking bootlegs. And out by VC Port, cruise ship chaos. The promise here isn't just size, it's interaction density. Can we browse market stalls, buy knockoffs, board a cruise ship? Realistically, probably not the last one. But a tour or heist hooked there would slap. The giant Vice City sign.
You read the news, isn't it?
Sun lancing between letters, underlining grilled.
Trust me, this place is just the start for us.
Ring the bells!
A jet overhead drops gear.
The only thing that
Runways
matters
clearly
is
just
you
beyond
know.
the chain link. Aviation nerds could probably triangulate the exact spot from the taxiway lights alone. I'll settle for this is the approach. Across a luxe pool deck and onto the beach. It's teeming. Swimmers, loungers, walkers, and a guy pedaling a bike straight through sand like his quads are made of hatred. On the cabana awning, a fallen palm frond sits exactly where maintenance hasn't fetched it yet. Sharing our balcony, an older woman with sunspots and textured skin, NPC variety on point, and a guy with a tattoo that matches a cop from Trailer 2, except here it's rendered in grayscale. Reused flash art or customizable ink? The spoon on a saucer reflects the actual sky, and the pool lighting occludes realistically where an NPC's body blocks it. Tiny, big feel touches. Could be a poster. Bottom left, a basketball court mid-pickup, ball in hand, looks suspiciously like Cal. A jumper elevating, Jason, and a woman on the rails scrolling, Lucia. Two folks stretching, gym bags tossed, water bottles sweating in the heat. Street side, a bus packed beyond anything we saw in 5. A bike rental rack sits by the stop. City bike mechanics, maybe? Bottom right, a police detain/arrest unfolding. Clustered NPCs, a cruiser pulled over, pedestrians rubbernecking. On the pier, a lone sitter staring at the water. Farther back, the hotel pool we saw earlier still bustling. Traffic lanes look seriously full. Blazing down a boulevard without tapping brakes might be a thing of the past. Mid-left, a mural splashed across a building. Right side, balconies loaded with beach junk, umbrellas, towels, inflatable toys. And the draw distance? Razor clear, no soup of fog pretending to be atmosphere. Still stacked with detail. Foreground guy's hairline to chest reads like real skin. A chin nick, a scar along the left pec, scattered moles, plus grills flashing. The man behind him wears 3 chains. Curious to see cloth/metal collision behave without clipping. His ribbed tank is properly knitted, seams and all. In the distance, dense power lines. Please let them be collidable this time. A tarp draped over a wall, and a mural painted right above it. The population density gets silly. A topless sunbather face down in front, drink to her left, sand sticking where you'd expect it. A metal detector guy is absolutely sunburned, shorts sliding south over his belly, gaze locked where it shouldn't be. To his right, an older man with a bright red chest sweats through the heat, feet caked in sand. The woman walking beside him has the look of someone over his wandering eyes. Her arm is burnt. Her soles leave crumb trails as she goes. A small scar on her right leg suggests a past surgery. Nice lived-in detail. On the right, a woman in a red suit is mid-selfie. Behind her, 2 dudes toss a football. Up at the lifeguard tower, a guard scans with binoculars while gulls claim the roof. Far left, a couple strolls hand in hand. Way back, a string of cyclists cruises the boardwalk. A Vice Beach police cruiser with condensation beading on the trunk. The asphalt to the right still looks damp. Storm just passed. We still haven't seen a full-on rainstorm in motion, but the aftermath scenes keep popping. Branding on the bumper includes social icons, Life Invaders L, and a heart mark for what's probably Vice City's Instagram parody. The brake lights are money. Rich red spill that even catches on the handcuffs clipped to the officer's belt. The woman being arrested is posing, while her friend in yellow grabs a selfie. Off to the side, an officer's forearm veins stand out. NPC physiology isn't just copy-paste. Every person here reads as their own build, hair, and attitude. Claustrophobia bomb. A tight, sweaty, money count shot. I can feel the room shrinking. Sweat tracks on both visible NPCs. The air looks humid enough to drink. The bills feature RDR2's Presidents, clean Easter egg. In back, a shimmering curtain flickers realistically as light scatters through the weave. It's the kind of frame that makes you want to breathe deeper, and also makes you want to get out. But after dark, and Vice City still hums. Bottom left, traffic isn't dead. Lanes carry a healthy flow. Sidewalks aren't empty either. Pedestrians keep moving. Even a few specks crossing the bridge. Bottom right, the Vice City Art Center entrance glows. Above that, a highway slices through frame with a very believable night volume. Center stage, a massive arena, the same dome from Trailer 1, and the interior lighting is on. Maybe it's explorable. Just as likely, it's visual storytelling. Off to the left, the Ferris wheel returns, and behind it sits a cruise ship docked at port. The draw distance is absurd. You can read the city's bones all the way to the horizon. Still, the Gloriana plate jumps out first, but the car sells it. The brake glow paints the scene with that thick, real-world red. The pillars spell P-E-A-R-L, same word we clocked as a tattoo earlier, so this reads like turf signposting. Left side, a dirt bike pack, same crew from Trailer 1, idles under the overpass. Near them, an NPC leans on the pillar with a dog posted up. Exactly the grounded ambient behavior that feels like RDR2's DNA evolved. Under the roadway, the grime buildup looks authentically gross. A Haitian flag tags the neighborhood. Little Haiti vibes. Up top, a billboard for man products with a French tagline that boils down to cheap but delicious. Little international flavor, little satire. Very Vice City. All about Heart, the Jack of Hearts. Booby Ike, a legend who flipped street credibility into legit businesses. Real estate, a strip club, a studio. Grins until it's time to talk numbers. We don't know his exact role in Jason/Lucia's arc, but he screams connector, the guy who knows everybody and can open the door you can't. Office close-up. Booby counting stacks in what looks like the club back office. Monitor glow reflecting off his lenses. Chair upholstery reads textured. Hairline looks natural. The desk lamp throws an honest, soft pool of light. Club background close-up. I'm more into the backdrop. A dancer inverted mid-move. Hair physics behaving like real strands. On the left, someone stands up and blocks a light beam. Nice occlusion. Pull quote. The club money pay for the studio, and the drug money pay for it all. Brisk. Nasty. Believable. A quick clip follows. Pure mood, no new info. Street front. Booby outside Jack of Hearts with Duan. We'll see him later. Car paint shows fine scratches, micro surface wear that makes vehicles feel owned, not spawned. A bouncer mans the door. Two NPCs on the right are mid-conversation. Crowd callback. Inside the club again, Booby centered. On the far right, a guy's wearing the same shirt as a rider we saw earlier. Could be a fun continuity nod, or just shared fashion. Hard to confirm faces from those angles. Rap text on Booby. Top quality cuts. He's invested in a partnership with a young label head named DeQuinn at Only Raw Records. Now they just need a hit. Feels like a side narrative we can follow in parallel. Nightlife money, studio dreams, and the search for a banger. DeQuinn, government name Draco Priest, was always a hustler with his eyes on music. Even when he dealt to stay afloat, the label dream was the point. With Only Raw Records, he's not chasing clout. He's chasing the hit. Club trio. DeQuinn with Real Dimes, Bayux and Roxy, inside Jack of Hearts. Banner in the back confirms the venue. Mesh and fabric on their outfits sell texture. Poolside scene. DeQuinn near a pool where every NPC is doing something unique. Posing, lounging, waiting, stepping in. His suit sleeve slides over his watch instead of clipping. Fingers crossed, that's systemic cloth prop handling. Studio walkthrough. Clip. DeQuinn in a Manatees jersey. Clear riff on the Dolphins. Walking the Only Raw studio with Real Dimes. Pull quote. Dancers are like my A&Rs. If the record's a hit, DJs are going to spin it. Club first, market logic. Recording session. Smoke catching the light just right. DAW on the monitor. Only Raw logo stamped on the desk. Hardware everywhere from channel strips to monitors. The Manatees jersey texture looks crisp. Back to the club. Another glam shot. Gold glints off his chain and bracelet. Reflections look physically correct. Final text. You're with the label now. With Real Dimes signed, DeQuinn's days of booking acts through Booby's strip club might be ending as he aims at the wider Vice City scene. Seeds of a friendly rift? Booby prefers home base. DeQuinn wants the city. Grass rivers. Pans an airboat slicing through sawgrass at sunset. Endless wetlands to the horizon, with what's likely the ocean way off to the south. Far right, the marshlands just keep going, implying long, uninterrupted traversal lines. It's the kind of space that begs for airboat chases, gator run-ins, and low-altitude helicopter sweeps at golden hour. Slice the sky. Different sizes, different wing beats. So the wetlands won't be a one-bird biome. The site copy leans in. Welcome to the wetlands, Leonida's untamable jewel. Watch the waterline. Gators might be the headliners, but there are stranger predators and weirder finds tucked in the mangroves. Same warning we heard for the Keys, just meaner. Smugglers, swamp freaks, and things with teeth. 3 folks on an airboat after a very successful trip. A monster gator sprawled over the bow, a bobcat slumped beside it. Beer bottles litter the deck, and 2 more sit abandoned on a railing behind them. Ambient object placement that NPCs clearly drive. The center building hangs a Patriot beer banner. Shocker, these folks like beer. The woman in the middle rocks a chest tattoo that reads, Masturbator. Everyone's caked in mud, and the guns look lovingly modeled. I'm not your firearms whisperer. On the starboard side, a plastic-wrapped bundle that's, come on, probably product. High above, a tiny jet tracks across the sky, either way up or way out, selling real scale. Diorama. Far left, a waterfront spot with a real interior, not a 2D fake. Fully dressed room behind glass. A guy leans on the rail. Below him, a line of seagulls camps on poles. To the right, ducks churn the water. Up from that, someone lounges outside a lobster shack. Center stage, a 2-tiered deck jammed with people. Lower level dancing, upper level seated. A loner on a bar stool, another leaning into the balcony. Internet rumor says, child NPC on one walkway. Odds are it's just a short adult. If kids were in, we'd see more than one stray. Below, a skiff with 2 anglers. A sign across the way ends in house. I flipped it a dozen ways, still can't read the first letters. Across the canal, residential blocks. The water tower says Watson Bay, likely the area name. Way off, the Vice City skyline and that radio tower we've spotted before. Hello again, prison zone. Far right, factory stacks. Overhead, clouds tell 2 stories at once. Threatening rain to the left, just overcast to the right. So weather looks locally dynamic. An airboat idling in a pond carpeted with lily pads, ringed by gators. Foreground reptile is about to earn a one-way ticket from the hunter lining up a shot. The boat's clutter is perfect. A bait bucket, a paper sack, cooler, net, flashlight. Lived-in kit, not a prop pack. Frame. A police chase threading through the marsh. My read, illegal poachers in the truck. The windshield shows wiper streaks, which screams usable wipers for the player. Right bank. More gators and a cluster of waders/herons. Above, a chopper keeps eyes on. In the rear, an airboat joins the fray. Looks civilian. Left side. Hard to ID animals in the brush. Maybe deer on the edge of their habitat. And a pair of swimmers. Otters, nutria, rocks. I'll take the L here. Nice touch. The truck's side glass mirrors the scene to its right. Viral videos. Viral hooks. Baylux and Roxy parlayed high school hustle and shaking down local dealers into spicy rap tracks and relentless feeds. We've spotted them since trailer 1, and their models got a serious glow-up for this round. Studio chair, Baylux. She's parked near the console. A lava lamp throws localized glow onto a fan. BL pendant, scuffed wall panels, and semi-translucent nails catching light. Not the fanciest studio. Perfect for a come-up. Car close-up, Roxy and DeQuinn. Roxy's name pendant, fur that changes tone across panels, and a crisp seam where hair meets coat. One tiny blend quirk left. The car interior leather looks premium. Roxy's lipstick reflects light realistically. Passenger seat. DeQuinn in a beanie. Fingers crossed, cloth/hair behaves in motion. Club clip. The pair dancing. Hair physics, lighting, body timing, all land. Quote card. All my dimes in this club. Meet my twin. Make it a dub. Pure hook energy, not heavy on info. On the car roof. They're back on a hood, but this time outside. Jack of Hearts, not the same location as Trailer 1. Bottom left, an NPC has their phone showing what they already filmed. On the right, another phone sits on a lock screen. One bystander's ring game is wild. Bracelets and stacks on both hands. Tattoos show up on a leg in the corner. Outfits match the recent clip and echo their key art. Roxy's coat hue differs. Booth close-up. Final studio shot. Roxy's brow ink reads blessed. Again, translucent nails. Deep in Baylux's mouth, yes, you can see the uvula. Wildly specific. Rap text. One hit away from fame. They popped once with local rapper Downplay, then 5 rough years. Signed to only Raw Records, they're swinging for a second lightning strike. Stakes high, patience low. Port Galhorn. A metro slides by, a fruit juice stand holds down a corner, a sun-battered trailer and a scuffed lot sit nearby, and a water tower marks the grid. In the distance, factories and port cranes. The copy doesn't sugarcoat it. Live hard. Leonida's Forgotten Coast. Cheap motels, dead attractions, empty strips. Tourism's gone, replaced by a new economy of malt liquor, painkillers, and truck stop energy drinks. Bring cash. Hide it. This is the sandy shores energy of 6, hopefully with more reason to hang around. A peeling motel beside a familiar pool. Yep, that pool. Trailer 2 showed Jason slamming a guy into a car just off this angle, so this frame's basically the reverse. The lobby looks actually modeled behind the windows. Left side, trash bags, a guy photographing a dog. Another NPC leaned into a truck window. Reads like a handoff. And a sunbather holding down a plastic lounger. Side. 2 workers with unique scars, pores, and ink. A whiteboard in the corner looks like a rota or task list. Lighting's moody, humid. Feels like you can smell it. The buyer's neck sports a goblinish tattoo. The seller's skin texture shows pores across the forehead. In back, a blurred guard presence. Whether random event or staged capture, the character fidelity carries the scene. The lights. The neon sign is a work of art. Letter forms glow with believable bleed. 2 unhoused NPCs move through, one pushing a cart stacked with life. The other looks spun out. At the door, a bouncer ejects someone while another heavy lurks nearby. 2 dancers chat near the curb. Far right, a pair under truck headlights. One flicks a lighter. Up the block, a shopping cart stranded in a yard. Visual shorthand for the neighborhood slide. The foreground couple is not shy on the truck hood. Beer bottle fizz visible, sweat beading on his arm. To the right, a circle around a campfire where the heat warps the air. A cooler overflows, plus the ground is a graveyard of empties. One woman texts. Another guy hefts a pallet while still gripping a beer. NPCs clearly juggle two-hand logic now. Next to him, a tank top with salt rings and sweat stains. Left side, 3 friends ride the truck bed like bleachers. And the lamp above draws moths. A tiny bit of life I didn't know I needed. Experience counts. Raul Bautista is confidence, charm, and cold math. A seasoned bankman always recruiting talent and hungry for high-risk, high-reward plays. He reads like the organizer you call when the job needs a real grown-up. Crew lead energy for the bigger heists. All when small time stops cutting it. Jason and Lucia want a serious score. They find Raul. Close-up/secret lair vibe. Raul on the phone. Behind him a silhouetted figure at a terminal. Mysterious hacker energy. The bokeh hides specifics, but the read is clear. Nothing's impossible when Raul's pulling strings. Think Lester, minus the hermit. On the water, city behind. Raul at the helm with Vice City on the horizon. The console labeling is legible. Buttons and rocker switches feel tactile. Seat stitching even has a tiny imperfection. A bin to his right is stamped with a Cuban flag, strong hint at his background. Way out, a drawbridge that's begging for stunt jumps. Street firefight, clip. Raul, Lucia, and maybe Jason trading shots with cops near a building draped in flags. Government architecture vibes. Raul trails his hand across the car's flank as he moves. Subtle touch we saw in the old leaks, now fully integrated. Lucia's face flashes genuine shock. Glass bursts frame left, and a car burns in the deep background. Pull quote. Life is full of surprises, my friend. Fits him. Wheelman frame. Raul driving, gloves on, pistol in hand. The dash is a modern touchscreen stack. Hello, infotainment jokes. Sun visor even carries the airbag warning. Far right, a billboard with a skull motif barely peeks in. File under to be determined. Ocean Drive stroll. Raul near a sidewalk bar. Fairy lights in palms. 2 TVs inside actually running content. A hostess stands at the podium. Maybe purely set dressing, but it sells the space. Foliage looks lush enough to smell the citronella. Rap text. A professional adapts. He's thrill-chasing, but not sloppy. Reputation means he gets away with being bold. Until he doesn't. Ambrosia. Sprawling sugar refinery. Allied crystal logos on multiple buildings. The complex feels as large as Five's industrial belt, but owns by one corporate heavyweight. In the lot, a couple cars sit idling, headlights on off. Little behaviors that make the town feel lived in. Beyond, rolling terrain. A first hint of the climb toward Mount Caliga. Site copy. Keeping Leonida sweet. Health, wealth, and old-school values, no matter the cost. Allied Crystal provides the jobs. A biker gang provides everything else. Translation: corporate town with a meth-adjacent heartbeat. Biker procession. The final chapter crew roaring through. Great look at Leonida plates. Flamingo, orange, plain. Roadside campaign signs clutter the grass. Name most repeated is Aaron Henshaw, helpfully sponsored by Allied Crystal. Captured politics, anyone? A parody billboard for Tiny Frank, proud allies of diversity in treats. Lampoon's rainbow-washed corporate PR. Hills rise in the background. Terrain diversity dialed up. Ambrosia at night, aerial. Not Vice City big, but larger than Polito/Sandy. Bottom right, a truck tows a boat. Airboats skim the water. A sign that screams Waffle House Energy anchors a roadside diner. Across the way, what looks like a racetrack with bleachers lit up. Allied Crystal's stacks glow to the left. The town sprawls beyond. Biker close-up. Front rider wears a Liberty City Cycles cap. LC keeps echoing. The woman behind him shows triggered discipline. rings and tattoos stacked. His chest patch reads, "Another day." So we may have competing clubs with final chapter. Fields on fire. Farmland burns while a plane lines up a drop. Firefighting pass incoming. Smoke plumes look eerily real. A fence tag shows Allied Crystal property. Corporate acreage scorched. Car wash girls. Two workers soap up a coupe while an in-dash touch UI displays phone, Bluetooth, music, nav, settings, search notifications. Another car rolls into the wash bay. One woman leans an arm into the cabin. Nice physical interaction. Reflections hold true in the rear view. Brian, heater. Bio. Nothing better than a mudslide at sunset. Brian's a Keys-era runner still moving product from his boatyard with wife Lori. He's the mentor type who lets others get their hands dirty, Jason included. Truck cab with Jason. The most photoreal shot yet. Brian's forearm on the window ledge, glasses reflecting real geometry. Jason looking armored up. Driver's side glass is grimier than the rest. The backcountry outside reads Grass Rivers. Boatyard handoff. Brian passes a brick to a guy in a plane. Same face we've clocked at the mini-golf and bar. Stitch detail on Brian's shirt pops. Brian's marina sign anchors the backdrop. Sunglasses reflections keep being absurd. Dockside chill. Clip. Brian sipping E-Cola in his chair. Lori wandering. Same mechanic from earlier wrenching and back. Tiny loop of daily life. Quote, "I hauled so much grass in that plane I could make the state of Leonida levitate." Legend talk. Boardwalk lean. Brian in a Kenny Brewster tee reads like a Jimmy Buffett stand-in. "I got a big truck with your face on it." Wood grain on the rail is chef's kiss. Palm light shafts through fronds. Down on the sand, two strangers clink beers. Gas station meet. Brian talking Jason through a job with a pistol in hand. Lori likely on his left, sporting a heart tattoo with Brian's name. His truck wears Key Linto Animal Hospital sticker among others. Undercarriage grime is perfect. A tall sign hints a station just off frame. Rap copy says he looks like a beach bum, but moves like a great white. And Jason's living rent-free in a Brian property if he keeps helping and drops by for Lori's sangria. Mount Caliga Park. Wild country. Postcard pans a proper national park. Deer drinking at a creek. Kayaks on a bank. Hikers descending a rocky face. A plane overhead, and the mountain itself looming. Text calls it Wild, Wild Country on the state's northern fringe, prime hunting, fishing, off-road trails, and a refuge for hillbilly mystics and paranoid radicals dodging the state's gaze. Expect RDR 2-grade nature loops, not just empty hills. Off-road run. Dirt bikes chew through a derelict industrial yard. Dust and mud cling to clothes and skin. Leaves and trash swirl in the slipstream. A greasy raccoon scrambles along the rocks, seconds from disaster. News chopper. Not weasel, just news, banking over farmland and interchanges. Cameraman has that 1,000-yard newsroom stare. Far horizon shows local rain while the foreground stays dry. Weather cells look regional. Hunters and deer. Dense underbrush. Antlers poke from a body being hauled under cover. A squirrel climbs a trunk mid-frame. Microfauna doing their thing. Canyon Road, Providence Canyon homage. Bikers overtaking traffic through a sandstone gorge. A car swerves to avoid a head-on. On a slope, a panther prowls. Across the way, deer hold the ridge. A concrete rail bridge spans the middle riverbed. Beneath is hazy, but there. This is our proof the map transitions gradually into uplands. Panther hunt close up. Big cat dripping from the belly, stealthing toward deer across a stream. Water shows true reflections, with floating debris, leaves, sticks, that might actually move when you wade. Kayak pass. Side activity written all over it. Water slap looks right. Bridge above reflects in the current. A rail train rattles by overhead. A flood gauge stands on the bank, maybe cosmetic, maybe tied to variable river levels. A fox lurks in the brush. The kayak's crest branding underscores how deep the in-universe label system goes this time. Lucia pulls a handgun from the trunk. Jason drops it shut. Inside, a gas can, football, and other odds and ends. Big implication. The trunk is your arsenal. No more Mary Poppins inventory. If the RPG isn't on you or in the car, you're not hot-swapping to it. Feels grounded, and it'll make planning matter. Leonida Keys. Postcard clip glides over the keys. Miles of water and causeways with Vice City tiny on the horizon. The sense of scale blows past LS to sandy shores. You can practically chart multiple routes in and out. Bridges, back roads, and of course, watercraft. I've already mentally reserved a jet ski for day one coastline laps. Gateway to paradise. Casual dress, loaded bars, easy living. Until you remember, these are some of the most beautiful and dangerous waters in America. That dangerous tag suggests organic competition at sea, smugglers, interdictions, or sharks. Maybe both. Aerial with city distant. Clearer view of Vice City off the shoulder. Beach down left crowded with locals launching a boat. Someone's got a campfire going. Traffic in the water is diverse. Cargo ships, speedboats, jet skis. A radio tower pins the horizon, the one from Trailer 1, telegraphing the nearby prison. Cloudscapes look painterly. Wildlife and scooter lane. An iguana crosses the road while a woman cruises a mobility scooter with a Marbles branded shake in the basket. New in-universe label. Pebbles and grit pop along the shoulder. A small shuttle bus rolls by. A roadside shop hawks lawn ornaments. 3 billboards aren't jokey this time. Sometimes Florida just is. One tourist trio takes a selfie. Please let us photobomb. And a guy poses 2 friends atop the Wonder Whale statue. Another rider pedals with flip-flops tucked on the pedals. Yep, that's a real thing. And his dog keeps pace beside him. Rusty Anchor Bar. Outside patio chaos. One guy face down among empties. A couple sneaks a kiss. Somebody might be watering the bushes a little too literally. An arriving NPC waves, and the door host waves back. Ambient exchanges feel smarter. Her flip-flop sticks to the ground when she lifts her heel. Sticky heat detail. A glass bottle perches on the rail. Enviro-object interaction is everywhere. Our iguana friend returns on the woman's shoulder, shirt and all, so yep, pet status confirmed. Forearm veins pop on another NPC who looks seconds from hurling. A bird perches on the rusty anchor sign. Banner below hyping a crab festival. Stack this with club flyers like Sinful Sundays, and it sure sounds like day-of-week events matter. Underwater spread. Massive leap from V. Particles, shafts of light, coral gardens, eel and turtle silhouettes, schools of fish. Maybe a tad too bountiful for reality, but gorgeous. Scuba shows up as an activity again, hopefully with a guide loop or contracts to make dives purposeful. Boat Party Bay. Inflatable flamingo guy returns, beers bobbing. A woman hops between boats, 2 more sunbathe starboard with a dented can at the rail. Deck dancers on multiple hulls. Jet skis throw proper wakes. The bridge and back matches an earlier shot, tying the location together. That closes the Keys set.